the more that I think about it, it's like I've come to this conclusion that the church is too busy answering questions the world isn't asking. And this is my big issue that I have that I don't know how to work through, is that the church is so busy answering questions that the world isn't asking. And that needs to change. That needs to change. And I think that's why there needs to be a massive awakening in the church, but not like has often been talked about. Like I've been the last 20 plus years going to conferences and conventions and this talk about revival and moves of God, and there's thousands of churches and ministries pursuing Jesus, which is amazing, but it's like I don't think God wants to do something. I think God wants to do something different. I think we're heading into a different time period where things are different now. It's changing. And it's like there are so many people struggling with things that the average Christian they wouldn't know how to process or deal with. You try to talk to a Christian about alien abduction. You try to talk to a Christian about satanic ritual abuse. You try to talk to a Christian about their encounters with these entities, these beings that they see out in forests or out in wooded areas or in their room or in their workplace, or like you the average Christian could not process the information that they're hearing. And it's like this kind of stuff doesn't make it into the church. This is the stuff that stays out, and it's like things are shifting, and this spiritual realm, that veil is thinning more and more. And I think more and more people are encountering stuff and experiencing stuff, and it's like when it comes to church, that same old little closed box mindset, it's just not going to cut it anymore. And I'm just like, it's like I can't go back. And I really believe that it's like if we as the church, as believers in Jesus, want to be relevant and want to make an impact, we have to start addressing and talking and dealing with stuff that's actually happening in our world. Yes, preach the Bible, but the reality is it's like a lot of this stuff is in the Bible. We just don't know it, or it's just being skipped over and not talked about. I mean, there's so much stuff in the text that we just blindly skip over and not willing to dive deep into. And we come up with crazy explanations for things. It's things need to change. Things need to change. And it's like, as Peter said, to Jesus in John 6, like, where are we going to go? It's like, this situation that I'm expressing is not that. I get that's not the same context, but the heart behind it, where it's like, I can't go back. Like, where am I going to go? I can't do it. And I think there is a remnant of people, of Christians all over, that are in that same spot, that are dealing with that same thing, that have they've reached that same conclusion. Like, they can't go back. And so there is a lot of good, I've heard a lot of good, there's good stuff out there that's coming, that's being talked about, but mainstream wise, it's got to change. I think the church, we have to get to a place where we're talking about relevant stuff, not relevant for relevance's sake. I'm talking about getting to the core issues that are plaguing our society and our culture, even if they're uncomfortable, even if they're weird, even if you don't really understand it or know a lot about it. We got to talk about it. If we really want to make a difference, if we really want to have an impact in our world,